Good morning. Welcome to our study of unsung heroes of the Bible. Today I have this interesting looking mug. You can see it looks like a fleur-de-lis on there, but it's actually from South Korea. A friend of mine, Jim Diddy Jr., who was a missionary in South Korea, gave me this mug, and I pray for him and for the missionaries in South Korea and the many students and colleagues that I've met over the years that are from South Korea. Very missionary sending group of people. We appreciate them. Pray for them today. Well, our unsung hero today are, once again, sometimes it's a group of people, and throughout history, women have often been overlooked and are unsung heroes because of that, especially in matters of inheritance and leadership and sometimes justice as well. But in the book of Numbers, we find 5 remarkable sisters, Mahlah, Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. They're the daughters of Zelophehad. Now, if you look at that name, it doesn't look like it'd be pronounced that way, sort of like Chapatulas if you're from New Orleans, Zelophehad, but it begins with a Z. These women, they challenged tradition. They sought for justice. They changed history in ways that people don't really realize as unsung heroes, these daughters of Zelophehad. These women challenged tradition in a particular way. They made a bold request. You find this in Numbers chapter 27. It says, "Then drew near the daughters of Zelophehad, and they stood before Moses and before Eleazar the priest and before the chiefs and all the congregation." Their father, Zelophehad, had died in the wilderness, and he didn't have any sons, only had daughters. Well, according to the custom of the day, the land inheritance only passed through the male heirs. And so without an inheritance, these women would be left without any security or status or really not any future in Israel. So what do you do? When faced with injustice, do we remain silent and just step aside, or do we move forward in faith? These daughters moved forward in faith. They challenged the tradition, and they did so with faith that they believed God would hear their request. Also in Numbers 27, verse 3 and 4, "Why should the name of our father be taken away from his clan because he had no sons? Give to us a possession among our father's brothers." That was a bold request and unprecedented as well. Women had never asked for land or rights before like this. Now, I want you to know they didn't rebel. They didn't complain. They didn't try to take matters into their own hand. Instead, they brought the case before Moses and sought God's justice, which is a very reasonable way to go about things. God's verdict was a very historic decision. In Numbers 27, verse 6 and 7, we find the Lord said to Moses, "The daughters of Zelophehad are right. You shall give them possessions of an inheritance." So God affirmed their request, providing justice that transcends human traditions. This is a moment that set a new legal precedent in Israel, ensuring that women in similar situations would inherit. Their courage just didn't benefit them. It changed social norms and benefited many different people. There's a lesson in this. God values justice and is willing to correct social norms to align with His righteousness. They had continued faithfulness before God as well. Numbers chapter 36 and verse 6, "Let them marry whom they think best, only they shall marry within the clan of the tribe of their father." So later another issue arose for these women. If they married outside their tribe, their inherited land would transfer to another tribe. So God provided a solution for them that they should marry within their tribe. They obeyed that command of God, and their family inheritance was intact. So when God blesses us, we should steward those gifts in wisely ways and remain faithful to His plan rather than our own plan, would be a lesson from that. There's a legacy that comes from these daughters in Joshua 17, verse 3 and 4. And they approached Eleazar the priest and Joshua, saying, The Lord commanded Moses to give us an inheritance among our brothers. So according to the command of the Lord, He gave them an inheritance. This is when they came into the land. This is years later when they entered the promised land. And because of their request and because of their boldness, they had ensured that God's promise would be fulfilled. And their names are forever recorded in Scripture as well, a testimony of their faith and their perseverance as well. Their victory paved the way for future generations of women to receive their rightful inheritance. Faithfulness to God brings a lasting impact that goes beyond just our own lifetime. So the daughters of Zelophehad weren't warriors, they weren't prophets, they weren't rulers. They were just simply women who saw an injustice and tried to do something about it. And sometimes we find ourselves in that position. Their courage had a lasting effect on Israelite law and provided and proved that God hears voices of people that you don't suspect He would. Their courage had a lasting impact on the law, and like them, we sometimes have to have boldness to step forward in faith and trust that God defends our cause because of our faithfulness and because He is also faithful to who He is. Well, God bless you. I hope this blessed you today. Make sure you subscribe and see what's going on at timsearcyministries.com. God bless you.